You think it's the nature of the MOBA games that makes the community that way, or is Riot partially to blame? That's a weird question because it's both. You know what I mean? Like, you're asking like two things at once. It seemed like you wanted to ask whether or not it's the MOBA community primarily or Riot primarily, or is it that MOBAs and Riot share the blame? But you kind of like asked in two in one. So I guess I'll say like both, man. MOBA communities, like, okay, so the way the game plays is it you'll notice every single game has a different kind of complaint given the different trials and tribulations of their game. We'll start there. That should be the most obvious thing, right? The most obvious observation. But the way in which certain problems invoke anger or evoke anger can either be manageable or very, very, very toxic. But also, like, think of it this way: at an individual level, you have like a switch. You have like a range, okay? You have a range of just how frustrated you can get about certain things. So, wait, why did my game not even show? Okay, sorry. Um, so like you as an individual, if you were flicked on the nipples like 3 4 times by your friends, you could go anywhere from best case, you're like, bro, stop. Like, that's kind of annoying. You like giggle, you like laugh, you're like, bro, what are you doing? To like, I'm gonna beat your ass. You know what I mean? And then someone else's range could go like, best case, I'm gonna beat your ass. Worst case, I'm literally going to murder you, right? Some people have like this insane, I don't know, propensity for violence or toxicity, whatever you want to call it. So that's what makes this so hard for me to talk about. It's because like in any community, MOBA or otherwise, you're gonna get these ranges, and you can't even look at like one individual, right? Because people oftentimes look at the extreme outliers and be like, that's like, you know. Okay, to be fair, there is an argument that I can make for looking at the outliers and taking that as the worst extreme cases and then going from there. And like I think that's totally valid in a lot of cases. It's like what is someone like what is the community absolutely capable of doing at its worst? And let's go from there, right? Like let's stomp it out there and then move up. But that aside, but there are some things that I can say with like some certainty, although again it is subjective. I will say this: MOBA communities have a huge distinct issue with having to deal with long game time and a complete lack of agency relative to other contemporary games, such as shooters, right? And the reason why this is because in a tactical game like League of Legends, you don't get the opportunity to just randomly kill like 3 4 people by yourself without developing your economy first, without like a huge advantage, without assistance from your team. Does that make sense? For example, last game, my teammate picked Sona. This game, their team picked Sona. Like, automatically, someone's decision just like shifted the game before you even got into it. So the MOBA community has to deal with this constant, like I have empathy for people that are frustrated about this because I understand the issue, right? It's like it's so frustrating constantly having to deal with other people's choices. And the way I see it is this wouldn't be a problem if people were just educated and like the public school education system was solid and we just like taught kids stuff, right? But we don't. So now we have a huge issue where you have to, wow, look at this, right? The Sona. You have to rely on people. And that's AIDS, right? Like that sucks. Who wants to do that? While if you're playing Valorant, even though it's still a 5 versus 5, you can at least like kill like 3 4 people without having to build up an economy. You could do that with a pistol. You could do that with a sheriff, right? It might not be the easiest thing to do, but it's certainly a lot easier to do that than it is to hold on, let me get that root. Oh, he flashed it. Nice. Than it is to do that in League of Legends. Try to kill 3 people level 1 in League of Legends, right? The early game. The equivalent to early game in Valorant would just be like econ round, right? The first couple of rounds, maybe, you know, people don't have too many guns. Maybe your teammates feed a little bit so that the enemies get like, I don't know, they get a Vandal and you're just sitting there like, bro, what? Ooh, I gotta try to get this quickly. Nice. I can grab this. Does that make sense? So every game has its own issues for sure, and I think MOBAs, they've got this huge problem of a combination of teamwork being super important and, you know, agency going down as a result. Especially because every role has a certain like duty as well as class of character. And if you're an ADC, you're never experiencing what it's like to be able to like tank 3 people. You need someone to tank 3 people. The moment an ADC can tank 3 people is like, I mean, closest we have is like Nyla or Samira going in with like shield bow and like a lot of lifesteal and just kind of like nuking everyone all at once. But that's not really tanking. That's just kind of like blowing up everyone. Do you know what I mean? Like, so they don't know what it's like to be able to do that or have to do that. And a tank player will never know, you know, will never perfectly know where to stand in order to allow their, I don't know, their gen or something to do damage, right? But it's not like you can't know that. It's not like you can't. And the reason why I say this is because you could just play other roles. So now we see the solution, right? We see the solution to some of these issues with people not knowing what the hell to do. It's like, well, people should be studying other roles and playing other roles and other champions. First of all, play other champions, right? Ideally. But we could also start with, like, first of all, play other roles. So you know, broadly speaking, you know, where this part of the map is. Like, I know you know bot lane is in bot lane, right? But have you mapped out exactly how long it takes to go from bot lane river to dragon? Well, if you don't, then, you know, when you're the jungler and you're calling for dragon and the enemy bot lane wave is somewhere, I don't know, like equal or like pushing or maybe it's pulling, like, do you know exactly how long it takes? Well, probably not, right? You have a rough estimate, sure, but some of these small details might get lost and they might influence your decisions. The amount of times I've seen jungle streamers rage because their teammates didn't move and it's their fault, and then the, you know, the amount of times where I've seen like a laner who could have moved but he just chose not to, it's like, wait a minute, bro. Like, what are you doing, right? Like, you know, there's fault on both sides in a lot of those cases where it's like someone could have moved or someone could have just recognized that the other guy could not have moved. And like, how come that discrepancy happens? Well, it's become a huge issue now where it's not even about the game knowledge, it's about being right. That's the issue, right? Like, you have to focus on the problem here. And the problem is that, like, someone didn't fucking move, we gotta know why. Was it this guy's fault or that guy's fault so we can improve for later? But now it becomes an ego thing where it's like, they don't care if they're right. They just don't like that someone spoke. You know what I mean? So, I'm okay with you caring whether or not someone spoke if you care about, you know, what's right to begin with. That should be the priority. But don't say anything if you're just, you know, saying it just to be a dick. That's the thing. Oh my god, so many plants. So yeah, MOBAs have this issue amongst others, and I also think it's just because, like, we've been here a while, like a long time, right? We've been here a long time. Some of you guys watching my stream, I bet you've been playing, watching League for 4-5 years. You know what I mean? That's probably how long it takes for you to grow out of it. Definitely not just 2 years. Some people Like, I don't see anyone. It's either you quit immediately or you don't quit for like years. You know what I mean? But that's because the people that have quit, like, you know, within a year or 2 years, obviously I'm not talking to them. So it's a huge, like, it's a bias, right? I recognize that. But I'm just saying, like, well, seems like most people sit here for a while. Okay. When it comes to Fortnite, though, I've heard plenty of people that go like, yeah, I played it for like a couple seasons and then I didn't like the new items and I left. You know what I mean? Like, for some reason, MOBAs have a longer lifespan. Maybe it's because people feel like there's still more to discover, still more to improve on. Although, even in a game like Fortnite, there is more to discover, more to improve on. It's just maybe you don't see it because League of Legends has this ranked system and it's so addicting. It's also the #1 game, so there's more incentive to play. Although it's not really an incentive, like I say incentive as in like other people view it to be, because, you know, like they want like rapport with others. If everyone plays the same game, like obviously you're gonna want to choose that game if you're trying to go like famous or something. And a lot of people bullshit themselves into thinking that they're gonna like make it or whatever, right? So I can see like why people do that. I'm gonna get that right. Okay, I have Rylai's. Is he gonna jump over? No. Yeah, so it's a combination of the system and also like how the game is, as well as how people are. And that's my perspective on it. I think we have like a nice stew. Perfect soup with all the right ingredients. Very addicting. Shit public school education. And a community that doesn't have leaders. Like, our leaders are, I think, Tyler 1 at the forefront of viewership. And I think a lot of the EU streamers beat out a lot of the NA streamers. And we have retired pros and some real be careful. Like, relatable people because of their disadvantages in character. They are very relatable to the average person, let's say. Very low common denominator kind of shit. Ooh, I get 2 plants here. Look at that Rylai slow, man. Damn, let's go. Yeah, like, easy humor. I'm gonna come. Like, you probably even giggled at that, right? I'm being very careful here. God, I love being able to farm without looking. Let's just leave. He's TPing. Let's leave. I'm gonna go grab this one. Thank you, Tristus Run. Welcome back, bro. Put this. I prop my arm out. Nice plants, nice plants. I got 2 additional plants there, just in case. Do you feel like Elo isn't directly representative of skill, though? No, that exactly, but that's even better. Like, you want that. You want that in like the reverse direction. Like, you want it to look like it's good. Oh, this guy is fucked. Nice. Like, a silver, if you told them, hey, we're saying you're silver, but in reality you're bronze, like, they're not gonna like that. Who's gonna like that? No one, right? But I mean, it depends on the age demographic, right? I bet like a 25-year-old be like, oh well then don't say I'm silver then, right? Like it's fine. I don't mind being bronze. But a 16-year-old, you know, like they want to feel good. They want to feel like they're platinum. So the silvers of yesterday are the platinums of tomorrow. It's just like people are leaving the game, and if you have like a baseline level of knowledge, you're naturally going to climb up higher. Is it that you got better over the years, or is it that the people underneath you just don't know as much because you've been playing for 2 years and you know every champion, and you'll naturally have an advantage over the people coming in, right? It's like if we had the exact same 1,000 people playing the game, do you think that, like, you know, there's going to be a lot of movement in rank? But what if you backfill it, right? What if you throw in an additional 1,000 people? What happens to the people that were in gold? Where do they move? Think about it, right? Well, they don't move down, right? Or they probably don't. Most people will just stagnate. That's the thing. But everyone thinks that they're the one that can move up. That's the issue, dude. Like, one of the biggest thing I can teach you on my stream is like, you're a fucking stat. Like, I'm a stat. Shit, we're all gonna be stats. Like, chances are we're all gonna be nothing but stats, and that's not like a bad thing. Some people just don't like that. They don't like hearing that. Nice, I got that shit. Let's go. It's because, I don't know, you're like taught to think that you're special. It's like, bro, the moment you let go of that, like, it'll be a lot easier to be happy to me. That's one thing I learned for sure. This guy wants to fight me. Do I win this? I don't think I win this. Who knows? Put one here. I'll just use my root to turn on this plant. Wow, that guy actually could not fight me for a sec. Damn, I have no smite though. Damn, it's so funny. This guy can't approach me. He actually cannot approach me. Interesting. Alright, let's get Medjai's. Is it good to not one trick, one champ, or like have a small champ pool? Ask that question again, because that can be interpreted in multiple different ways. What do you mean? MOBAs are inherently more complex compared to a shooter like Fortnite, so that's why. Yeah, that's what I mean, right? Like, there's a lot more information that you could take in and like analyze and get good at, I don't know, dealing with, for sure. It's a big part of why MOBAs are attractive. You want to give people more toys to play with, right? People love playing. I want to play with some toys. Dude, I do a lot of damage now. Nice. Nice, dude. So you don't actually want the dragon to hit your plants. You want the plants to live as long as possible. You want to tank for the thing. Nice. Good. I'm gonna scan that. I'm actually kind of tanky. Like, people can't approach me that easily. Almost 2k health, so I can take maybe a couple of Kha'Zix Qs. If I'm standing on my plants, I don't know if that removes isolation, but it does do a lot of damage to him. That's the funny part. And like, I can just ulti myself if I need to. That is the funny part. Is it bad to climb without having a champ pool? Play whatever you want, etc. It can be bad. I mean, what's bad? Like, do you mean in terms of like getting elo? Then yeah, you know, playing without a dedicated 2-3 champions, you know, that you're like really good at, really okay. More specifically, you understand like the cooldowns of, right? That's like even just like one dimension of like God, proficiency. That's the word. I was like, dude, how do I not know this word? Right, even one dimension of proficiency, just knowing the cooldowns. Hi, dude. You going? can make a world of a difference. Like if you don't have to look down to your hotbar all the time and like you know like when it's gonna be up, or generally know when it's gonna be up, you're also familiar with like some of the range or like the damage. Like these are some other dimensions, right? That's a big one. Who said hi? He's gone. Let me grab this. That can be bad for climbing, but it could be fun to just like play random stuff, right? Depends on your perspective. I'm just assuming you're talking about like climbing, like the ranks. Like strictly climbing, because like some people enjoy the climb through like trying different stuff at the same time. But because you use that word climb, I'm gonna just assume you're talking about strictly like getting good, you know. Oh shit, shit, there's everyone here. My bad. My bad. Oh, we took the flash though. I got this. Oh, he went in. He went in. I mean, I guess so. Don't know if we needed to. Yo, you're standing on the thing. You're gonna. Damn. Okay. Bro's wearing a bomber jacket. D1 League player. You're a football player, eh? No one really says D1 like that. Most people in League would be like, he's challenger, you know. I'm wearing the jacket because it's cold in the basement. It's summer now, so they do air conditioning upstairs, which means that the basement's gonna be cold. But I know it does look vain. But like, you know, my girlfriend's wearing my hoodie right now. I mean, I have other clothes. It's just I prefer this one. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people used to make fun of me for wearing the challenger jacket often, but they don't know what it's like to be me, where I don't think I've spent like a single moment thinking about what I want to wear. I have like 9-10 white shirts. It's in the same drawer. I know where it is, right? I have like gray boxers and like, you know, white boxers, like, but I don't even really think about that either. It's just like I'm wearing boxers. Like I wear the same shit. I go to take a shower. I know exactly what I'm gonna wear, what I'm gonna lay out. If I'm gonna walk outside, I have my jacket right there, right? I don't wear any other jackets. I've actually outgrown most of them. This jacket's the only jacket that I haven't. For some reason, way back in season 6 when I was 16, I ordered this jacket in XL, so it is particularly big, and I just grew into it, kind of. And it's just like, that's how the cookie crumbles. Let's go steal this, hey? Nice, thank you. So it's funny, some people are like, oh, like they project, right? They're like, you wear the challenge jacket so other people can think you're good or something. Like, no, I'm just really used to wearing it now. It's been like 6 years. I like this jacket, and I don't have to think about what I want to wear if I'm like cold or going out. It's nice. Probably question, what do you think about playing 2 roles in ranked? Find it improving at mid and support simultaneously. Yeah, I mean, it's good. Yeah, that's good. That means like you'll never be autofilled, right? Because if you choose 2 roles, right? Unless you like really get autofilled, you know, you're gonna get a role that you play. You're chilling. I don't really care about the dragon, I'll be honest. When we wipe the enemy team and we get Baron like this, I'm down to just like get stuff. Lol. I'm down to just get stuff. Like, look, their entire team's going to the dragon because they care about the 3rd dragon. But we have a Baron buff, and like, I don't really care. I'm gonna go get towers. Yeah. Maybe for like a fire dragon or something. I'm down. I think I just got 2 towers here. Sweet. Yeah, a little bit of macro. In my opinion, I think this is pretty good. I don't really give a shit about the rest. Because if I thought that this game would go a long time, I'd probably go for that. Play for Elder. But I think we're gonna end this soon. We're so strong. This is one thing I remember I used to get flamed for. After Baron, I would just not use it properly. Oh, chill, what the hell? And so I learned that, like, Baron doesn't always just mean recall and, you know, reset, go to the next objective. Baron means you get 3 minutes, especially if you kill someone at Baron, you kill the enemy team at Baron, you know, you get 3 minutes to do fucking whatever the hell you want. Especially in the next 20 seconds. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, let's play. I'll put the plant down at least. My team is finally here. Thanks, Riot. Bring back old Zyra with a death pass spike you shoot when you died. That thing was kind of funny. Don't think it did any damage though. Want to know your opinion about this, because I think if you have no champ pool, it's like you have a limit on yourself, majority. Or just have everything be your champ pool. Like me. Play everything. I picked up Zyra maybe a couple months ago, and I've played perhaps 20 games at most. But, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, like, I feel like I look pretty proficient on this champion, right? I know how to play it, I know how to move her. I must have this. I can talk while playing too. But you're like playing for 10 years or something? Yeah. That's my advantage and disadvantage. Depends on how you cut it. Boom. I'll do the boom later. I don't want to reach. Thanks, Marcenzo. Maybe I should get a Void Staff here. Yeah, I'll sell the Magi's Void Staff eventually. I shouldn't have went Horizon Focus. If I wanted to build properly, I would have went Void Staff. That would have been the best case. Ah, shit. What's funny is, Irelia's a really big counter to Zyra just because she can Q to the plants. And it's a melee auto attack, right? So she can go to it fast. Oh, no res for me? Is it because Kha'Zix killed me? Nice. He's using the singular auto attack, if you'll notice. Akshan's auto attacks come in pairs of 2, right? He shoots pew pew. However, if you cancel before you get the second auto attack, unlike Lucian's Light Slinger, it won't fire it. It'll instead give you extra movement speed. That's a big one. Let's go for the towers. Go push. Yeah. What's the boom? Here we go. Happy birthday, Hog. It was yesterday? Yes. How's that a disadvantage? Well, because for the average person spending 10 years on something that doesn't give them a lot of money, you know, that's like a bad thing. Like, why spend 10 years? I mean, it's a good thing I'm good at it, and I've made money off of it. And it's been fun, right? Because I've done it in, from my perspective, a relatively healthy way, at least in the past couple of years. But for the average person, like, you do this, like, you play League like this, you're fucked. Like, it is not good for you. Yeah, that was a good fight. If it's free, then it's free, you know, I'll go take it. Because they should be able to grab this while the enemy team is recalling. Yeah, they shouldn't be able to die. Actually, no, I should have went with them. I think. Just for certainty, and then we back out together. I should have went with them. This is too dangerous. Thank God they clutched out. That was really nice for the MF. But I knew against my better judgment. I knew to not go against my better judgment, but I still did. Right? Because like in this case, because we traded support for ADC, I thought, okay, they don't have an ADC. I doubt that they could defend their tower. But I'm like, oh, but I'm making it a 3v3. Or sorry, I'm making it potentially a 3v4. Just because I'm greedy for both of these things, you know? Let me explain that fully. Basically, I'd be able to go to the dragon, take it, so that I stop them from taking, also give my, my team the dragon. But I'd also be able to retreat into my camps after. If I were to take the tower with them, I don't think I'd be able to get enough just because we split the local gold. And I'd have to go into their jungle like this, and that's kind of dangerous. If I wanted to get my Rabadons. I'm not gonna go for the Gromp here. Actually, I can kind of like drop this down. See, this is why I like it, right? Like, normally you don't go for camps when you're this far ahead, and you go to push, but you could do both. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to do both. But like because it worked out, it's nice. But they could have easily died to the Kha'Zix and the Irelia if the Anivia decided to like play with them too, right? If the Anivia were able to get back fast enough. But I was thinking like, yeah, they're recalling. They're down in ADC. Maybe we can get away with this. I'm gonna do a little bit of poke. Oh, that's a lot actually. Look at that shit. Look at that shit right there. I got a flash. Nice. Let's just plant 2 plants ahead here in case they come forward. Auction actually just backdoored straight up. I'm gonna go chase this guy, maybe stop him. We can get the tower. Yeah, we can get the tower. I'll come back here. I didn't expect the auction to come over. I was just trying to zone that guy, so I'm taking 1 out. Good, good, good. Nice. Sona. Take a look at the amount of damage that I have done this game. I'll show you guys. I'm Flame Horizon. Look at this. I got 100 CS on that Kha'Zix, man. Damn, I didn't even notice. Yeah, I beat the Kha'Zix. I finally beat it. Let's go. Well done. Take a look at this damage, man. Oh wow, this guy beat me hard, but did more than my carries here. Very nice. Sick.